go straight to the message. It is a weird message because I was sleeping one day and I thought, I don't know, I was taking a nap and Ben was beside me and suddenly woke up. And I said, did you share this message before? Because I thought it was deja vu. And I'm a weird person, so weird things happen. And so I asked him, have you shared this message before? And he said, no, why? I said, oh, I woke up with this message and I had this message in my mind, and it happened to be a continuation of, I think it's a continuation of what y'all learned last week. Last week y'all learned church is it? Yeah. Or the week, making a difference. Yeah, it's about making a difference in one person's life. And let's go straight to it. Do y'all all know this passage of the Good Samaritan?
Yes.
Yeah, you probably know this message, but if you don't, you will know it today, and then you will know why this, that hotline is called the Good Samaritan hotline. There's an organization in Singapore called the Good Samaritan, and if you need help, you can call for SOS. If you need counseling.
That one.
Yeah, but if you are part of the church, please call us. We would like that. Okay, so on one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. Because Jesus was just not the very religious guy you were expecting to be, because Jesus says he's God and all this, but he really didn't look like a holy God. It's not like a holy figurine walking around, and as he walked around, everybody hair got straight, eyebrows suddenly got trimmed, and everyone who was smelling bad suddenly smelled good. He just appeared as a pretty normal guy. He was a very real guy. An expert in the law thought that he should be better, Jesus should look better. So he asked, teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What is written in the law? He replied, because this guy is very proud of his law. Well, as Christians, we can be very proud of what we know about God. Yeah, we can. I'm very proud that I read the Bible. I'm very proud I can do my outlines. There was a time I felt a lot better about myself because I can read the Word of God and I can break it down in probably 10 minutes. I can give you a message. I'm like a machine. There was a time I was like that. Of course, God changed me. But what is written in the law? He replied, how do you read it? He answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. That's funny, right? Because you can say all that love thing, but yet just be a book person. Yeah. You can get married and just treat your person like a roommate. Roommates, hallmates forever. And just you know what it should be, but it never translates into reality, and really that's what we're going to talk about today. You have answered correctly. Jesus replied, do this and you will live. So Jesus gives him a stab. Yeah, do it. Because obviously Jesus didn't think that this guy was doing it. Yeah, you know all the right answers, but do you do it? Yeah, do this and you will live. And in Jesus' life, you will find that a lot of Jesus' arguments with the religious people are that, you say the right things, but you're not doing the right thing. Yeah, in fact, he told his disciples and people that were following him, said, you do what the Pharisees are saying, but don't follow what they do. Because they're living double standards. They know the Word of God, it's good, but they're not really living it. And that is what we need to do. As Christians, that's what our Father wants us to do. He wants us to be able to read His Word, but that translates into action in real life. Okay? He wanted to justify himself. You always want to be right. Always want to be right, especially if you have a certain status. If another Christian comes and talks to you, maybe you're like a 5-year-old Christian, and then like a half-year-old Christian comes to talk to you, and is it wrong to lie? And they're like, yeah, like, of course not. Then they're like, why did you do that just now? You're like, it's okay sometimes. You begin to justify yourself. Because you want to prove yourself right. And really, it's not about right and wrong. It's about whether we do it or not. Ultimately, it's a big takeaway. It's not about arguing who is right and wrong. Are you doing the work of God? If you're doing it, you're living it, then good. Just continue doing that. So he asked Jesus, and who is my neighbor? Ask the person beside you, who's my neighbor? No, but Jenny has no neighbor. But Jenny literally are their neighbors. So that is funny. our passage for today. Okay, we're going to meet one very broken man. One broken man. In reply, Jesus said, Jesus is cool because if you ask him, usually he presents a very unique story. He plays a DVD or he plays like a YouTube video in front of you to explain, which is nice. Okay, in reply, Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. Very horrible. Imagine if today Jaislyn, she leaves to meet whoever she's going to meet, and somebody. Yeah, you have to understand. Yeah, and she's a girl. Yeah, so now guys, you need to like protect your friends. Yeah, so they. Okay, this is bad. But like this is how the word of God is supposed to be. You're supposed to play in your mind and truly feel it. If you don't feel it, you don't feel the pain of it. You don't feel the pain of loss. You don't feel the pain of somebody who is broken. Okay, I don't think anybody would dare to harm Adele, but she's learning to kick their asses. Yeah, I'm trying because I'm quite fragile girl, right? So if I go third world, I am quite. I look around. The other time Nicole was with me. Nicole is very small. I'm like, she's like, I have to protect her. So I always have my handphone with me. Do y'all know the story? I always have my handphone with me so I can hit somebody in the head. I always, so I can protect myself. So girls, you need to do that, okay? Yeah, but this man, he like nobody was helping him. And I love the Bible because it can be very literal, but it also can be very metaphorical. Yeah, you might have a friend. Yeah, I find that this is not like most of the parables of Jesus cannot apply to us in real life in Singapore because there's no robbers. Yeah, and there's no demoniac screaming in the streets. Very uncommon. So sometimes we have to read into the word and say, okay, and ask Jesus. Okay, so but not like that. If I'm going to live the Bible as if I'm living in Jerusalem, it's going to be very different. I'm living in Singapore. How does this apply to me? I'm going to work. How does this apply to me? I have friends going to school. How does this apply to my friends? You have to kind of make the Bible relevant in your head. So you have a friend. Maybe your friend was going somewhere and left the wallet. And Jason is always the victim in this story. Okay, and something happened to them. I guess most commonly is family. Yeah, family. We can't really help what happens in our families. You meet a friend, and your friend is broken because of family. Yeah, you can't really do anything about it. You meet people in the streets. They are broken because they don't have money. Can't do anything about it. Yeah, but this person, they stripped off his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. I mean, honestly, if you all saw this man, I don't need to see your hands. But think about it, whether you will help this man or not. Okay, there's two religious fellas, and there's going to come a priest. A priest is somebody who represents God in the synagogue, right? He represents God. He happened to be going down the same road when he saw the man. Well, a priest is supposed to symbolize somebody who knows God. Oh, you talk to God, you're representing God. Yeah, you should be expecting, everybody's expecting something great out of this man, especially Jesus in this parable. Now he passed on to the other side. Oh, deep man. Yeah, just pretend you never see. Yeah, and sometimes we do that, you know. And also a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, he passed on by the other side, on the other side, a Levite, also somebody serving the church. So if you're a full-time ministry person, this might be a word for you. Or you're just too used to being a Christian, this is probably a word for all of us also. Yeah, we know who God is, we know how God is, we know God's word pretty well. We go to Romans class and we study the Bible, and it's helping us to grow. Yeah, but it needs to translate into something. Okay, all this word inside, all this knowledge of God, all this friendship with God, all this culture in church, it needs to translate outside of church. And all these things are happening outside of church. And I think God is pretty concerned about your life outside of church. Your life and my life, pretty concerned because when when God is concerned, it is not Sunday I need you. It's I want every day of your life and we be friends with each other. I saved you, so you're mine. You're forever my child. Monday to Sundays, you're my child, 24/7. Not just on a service day. Okay, so this is going to be like a big trap that we fall into. But maybe we think we only do Christian things on Christian days. Yeah, no, right, you need to eat every day. You need to breathe every day. And you don't, I hope you don't just exercise when you go to army. That's why a lot of men grow fat when they come out of NS. Yeah, no, he's not in NS yet. Okay, because it's not part of their lifestyle. Okay, that's why a lot of people in Singapore, you stop learning after you graduate because the culture is like you need to study, but you don't love studying, you don't love learning. So when you're done with school, you don't want to learn anymore. Yeah, so you want to try to not be like that. This is religious men, and they're just doing what they need to do on duty. So I'm only a great Christian when I need to be a great Christian, and I need to report for work. I only treat people nicely when we're in ministry, and it's just try. I'm not saying that you're supposed to be an entirely perfect person all the time, but behind closed doors or in safe places. Okay, the priest and the Levite, they both work in the synagogue. And Jesus is really watching. I suspect that Jesus crafted all these stories from his observations, real life observations of all these guys. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool story. One very normal man, but a Samaritan. So a Samaritan person is treated like half a human. For Jews, yeah, you look at them like less than a human. They're not as high quality, probably more barbaric. Yeah, just kind of, there are people you think like that. I hope not, but maybe before you were saved, you had certain stereotypes. But a Samaritan, of course, is not fully related to the Jews. Yeah, as he traveled, he came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. He put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii, he took out his own money, and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have. And so, of course, today the main story, the main role, the main character is this guy, the very normal man. 7 steps to true love by Jesus. Okay, because there was a lot of preaching by the Pharisees and the scribes, but it was not really what Jesus wanted. This is what Jesus is asking from us. Because just now, remember, we visited the 2 points. Jesus, the guy asked, "What can I get? What should I do to get eternal life?" He said, "You love God first." Yeah, I know we all love God. Yeah, okay, but loving God, you cannot love God without loving man. Well, Jesus is quite serious about you loving man. He said, well, whatever you did or did not do, you cannot judge according to it. You are a goat or a sheep according to what you did or did not do. Very important. Okay, so 7 steps to true love by Jesus. And I want to say that it doesn't take a lot to do something for other people. It doesn't take a lot to be a witness for Jesus. It doesn't take a lot to represent Jesus wherever you are. You can represent Jesus in your schools, in the park. Don't think of it too much. Just let it be an outflow of your life. If you're on the MRT station, somebody needs you, just remember, that person can meet Jesus through this. Don't think of it as an occupation or a place. Yeah, but sometimes we like to compartmentalize that so that while it's not church time, then I can do anything I want. So let's try to give God a little bit more than that. Yeah. 7 steps to true love by Jesus. Number 1, you open your eyes to see. If you don't open your eyes, you will never see anything. Okay, when he saw him, the Samaritan saw this guy. Okay, I know we are very busy with our lives. We have many things to do. But sometimes it's good for us to take time to just see what people are going through. your friends. Facebook is bad because people are always posting passive aggressive things, but you have friends that are hurting. You can see it. You have friends, in WhatsApp group, you have friends that are lonely. You can see it. You can see how your friends are cutting themselves. You can see it. It's obvious. Okay, so it starts with seeing, and it does take some effort for you to do that. It's easy for us to not care about anything happening around us if we don't open our eyes to see. But we have to open our eyes and start seeing the people around us. And I'm pretty sure all of us are here because somebody saw us. Somebody saw us, and somebody saw that we probably were not in the best shape. And somebody saw me when I was young. My friend kept asking me to go to church because she saw that I was not a believer, and she kept asking me, because she knew I came from a very bad family. She didn't give up. She, like 3 years, she kept asking me. And finally, I accepted the invitation because of a bad relationship in my life. But she opened her eyes to see how my life was. Okay, she took time to see. Okay, so when he saw him, number 2. So number 1, you have to open your eyes if you want to truly learn to love people like the way Jesus asked us to. Number 2, okay, it's kind of progressive. Because number 1, you might not have been actively reaching out to people because your eyes were closed. I hope that today we will start opening our eyes to the people around us, not just around us but beyond us. But number 2, he opened his heart to feel for this guy. He took pity on him. It's easy for me to see a message and just go, this is stupid, Yeah, when I see somebody who has a problem, or I think that the problem is very immature, but problems will escalate and snowball, and soon your friend might be suicidal and depressed very fast. Okay, if you see a problem, please open your heart to the person to feel. How do you open your heart to the person? Of course, you can ask God, you pray, Jesus, what does this person feel? Or more than often, I find that God will put you to with somebody that you can relate to. Well, I don't have great parents, so I can relate to the void of not having a good parent. Yeah, I don't have a good father. Yeah, but I can relate to somebody who can have a good father through God our Father. Yeah, you understand? So you can do a lot, but you have to put yourself in that person's shoes and start thinking, okay, I didn't have a lot of money and I'm blessed, yeah, but I know what it means to feel poor in this nation, so I can let that work in my heart, and how can I benefit somebody who doesn't have money in this nation? So my heart is moved, because when I was younger, I didn't get to catch movies, I didn't get to listen to contemporary songs, so I felt very left out. So it was a natural cycle that kind of excluded me from society. So it got worse and worse and worse. So I began to open my heart to people who are like me, or if you do, keep expanding your circle, then God will give you more different kinds of people to reach out to. But you do have to open your heart to people. Even an indifferent person has a heart. and a different person. So recently, it's funny because we're all dealing with different personalities, right? Because God gave us different personalities. Gave you a unique personality so that you can reach out to. Like Jaislyn can reach out to somebody who Ben can never reach out to. Probably, they're quite different. Yaya will reach out to somebody who, I don't know, maybe Raymond. Nah, you live in the same house. Maybe Alvin, Yaya and Alvin, quite different. Yeah, and we're all different for a reason. You don't have to change to become somebody else. You're unique for a reason, and I always need you to know that God will give you very unique experiences. He made you look a certain way. All that is God's package for you and design for you. Okay, but you have to open your heart. So recently we have some young men who are talking to their friends, and their friends are just like, I don't know who to reply, they don't care about anything. And it's funny, right? Because like Adele can't really, Adele's life is quite full of things. So it's hard. But for those few young men sitting over there, They do know exactly what it feels to feel like life is nothing. Yeah, feel the emptiness, and like if you really allow this to go inside your heart, you'll start crying right now, and like you'll start bawling up like right now and just cry. Yeah, because you imagine if you think you're a smart person, that in Singapore you'll never make it, and it's a very, very dark society we live in, and it's a very sad place for people who don't know Jesus. Because if you know Jesus, you know you have hope, you have a future, but those people don't. Okay, so you have to open your heart. The people around you, who do you see? Who do you love? If you say you love your friends, then are you seeing their problems and are you opening your hearts to them? And if you're opening your hearts, what is God telling you about their life? Okay. Number 3, active feet, motion. Sometimes it's just the hardest thing for us, just to get out of bed. Yeah, because if you do get that 3-4 hours you want to sleep, I do that too. Yeah, I do that too. Okay, he went to him. So instead of being like the priest and being like the Levite, they know what they should do, and they probably are going to church after that and saying, well, I love God. Yeah. Yeah, so when you really think about it, it's like, not very good. Yeah, but that's most of us all the time, right? Unless we are improving and we're really trying to mature our faith. But they were going to church, those two people, and Jesus was like, meh. Jesus was like, for their faith, he's like, meh. It's a meh faith because it's just a top faith. But Jesus was more interested in this guy that is taking action. Okay? He has active feet, so he didn't go the other way. He put everything else away and he went to this guy. Yeah. And if you truly love people, you have to walk to them. You have to travel to a place for them. You have to travel here to church. Ben has to travel here to church. Ben has to travel and take time to come and see Yaya and Eugenia. And then we have to travel over and eat together, because that's part of love. Yeah, it's part of love. A lot of love is a lot of doing. Like Brian really loved us. So he got that. It's not like he got nothing better to do. Yeah, but in action he's showing. Well, he bought that rice. And then he brought it over here and he carefully explained to everybody, okay, now he explained it to me. And I through the end translator, you got to know what it was. Yeah, but he was going to do it without any acknowledgement anyway. Yeah, we're just going to eat and not remember what he did. And not even remember who got it. It's just so funny. So, a good example of a good Samaritan of this guy. Yeah, but it takes active feet. He went to him. Yeah, I think, just people like that. Maybe like Jonas is more like that. He will like travel all the way to the army and spend his money on a taxi and just go back just to say hi. He's that kind of person. Eric is doing the outreach. I don't even know how many he does now. 3? 2? Yeah, two uncles.
One uncle, one auntie.
One uncle, one auntie, and two normal. Two boys. Two guys. Yeah, 2 discipleship. And at the block, he's going to a block of studio flats, and over at Sydney area, they're very poor. So he goes to help auntie with the groceries. Yeah, that's love. Auntie cannot, and auntie cannot. She's too tired, cannot walk. Yeah, that's love. I mean, that's proper Jesus action, proper Jesus love. Yeah, Uncle, I don't know why you were talking to Uncle. Can you explain why? Just lonely? He's single. Yeah, single uncle. Imagine if you're like 80 years old and absolutely nothing, living by yourself. Yeah, and Singapore is horrible because in the drama you always have a happy family. Yeah, and all your children need to be around you, and during Chinese New Year you have like family and extended family, and you're looking at a grandchild, and so sweet. Yeah, but some people just don't have that, and sometimes people's completeness will remind you of how incomplete you are. Yeah, so Eric is trying to be love to this uncle and this auntie and these two guys who are really trying to know Jesus more. He's trying very hard. Like Eric is like trying very hard. If his brain can take it out and wash it and turn it inside out, he's just really hard. Sometimes you need to just ask him about what he's doing. It's really fun. Okay, but it takes at least about 12 hours of his life at least 12 hours? Yeah, every week to do that. For him to walk over and walk and get groceries and all that. So that is representing Jesus. Yeah, the few girls in front, they are trying their best, and of course Raymond, they're teaching the children. It's a pain to teach children. Yeah, you teach children before, it's horrible. Yeah, and they are really, because they love the children and they saw how they were loved, so they are like passing the love on, right? Because they remember when there was a time they didn't know Jesus and they didn't have the word of Jesus, so now they want to pass it. That is proper. And every Sunday they have to walk all the way to Prudnippon and walk here and walk there with the children, and it's quite hard. Yeah, but that's what true love is. True love is doing something for somebody. It's not praying in a room. It involves praying in a room, but it's not just that, and it's not just knowing the Bible. It is living the Bible. It is, okay, this is God's word, so what's telling me to do it? I'm going to do it. Number 4, active hands, action. He bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Well, this part of action can be a little bit more than hand action. Of course, you know somebody's hurting. What can you do for them? Well, he bandaged his wounds. He poured on oil and wine to heal it. Or you have a friend that is healing from maybe a bad relationship. What can you do for your friend rather than say, just stupid, just who asked her to date somebody like that? That doesn't help, right? Doesn't help, but you can bring her out for tea. I'm telling you very practical things that Jesus would love for us to do for our friends. If you have friends that are going through a hard time, you have a friend that is having depression, what can you do for him? I mean, it can involve bringing him to church, but other than that, what can you personally do for a friend? You have a friend, you know that she is a little bit desperate is not a good word, but you know she would easily get into bad company. So what would you do for her? Yeah, things like that. What can you do? Because if you don't manage up their wound, somebody's going to come along. Somebody else will come along before you, and they might teach them something else that is not good. Yeah, but if you see somebody who's hurt, take the opportunity. Take the opportunity and bandage their wounds, because they will remember that when I was broken, you came and fixed me, or at least you tried to fix me. And that will be your chance to represent Jesus to them. Number 5, giving up your convenience. And he put the man on his own donkey. Because donkey is nice. Ben keeps giving me that look. Yeah. I'm preaching at every point I'm preaching that. Because he's like, she always makes me do things I don't want to do. Remember when we were younger, when we were still at the shelter, he would come and pick me up. I'm like, can you just bring all of us back to Junction 8? So his car started filling up with more and more and more kids. Yeah, and we were happy to do that because I knew, like, because I put my heart, of course I see y'all, right? You're like, come back from school, so sad. Then I'm like, then I feel for you all, must go home, tired face, family, so sad. I have to go sweaty, so sad. And I'm like, okay, I will carry you, but my husband is fetching me. Okay, then I'm like, can I? I'm very good at intercession, so I know that Jesus is interceding for us and the fathers, and he's pretty successful. Yeah. So he always, and of course that's Ben's love for all of us. Also, he put the man on his own donkey, so he puts all of you in his car. Yeah, he's given up his own convenience. Sometimes it means going all the way back to Jurong. Because that is love. Yeah, that is love. And we all know we all love each other, so you don't have a problem. with it. You don't think that we're trying to bribe you by just giving the car, right? We just chill out, giving up your convenience. Then he put the man on his own donkey. Number 6, you need to give up your time. Like you realize, oh, okay, I need to do a lot of things. I'm sacrificing. This is what Jesus means by we have to love God and love our neighbor. So it's good. It's a little bit healthy for you to think, okay, in my whole week, what time am I spending on other people? Yeah, and then from there you make some adjustments in your life. Okay, giving up your time. He brought him to an inn and took care of him. And also bringing him to an inn can be bringing him to a church, because in church there are proper people who are caretakers. Yeah, so if you do need people who needs proper counseling or help, or they just need a friend, then bring them to church. There's a lot of nice people here they can love. Yeah, there's like a few choices. Like you have A to H. If you like somebody who's more millennial and you want to bake cookies, probably you want to go to Jason. Yeah, assign them to Jason. If you have a friend like that and you know it's not your specialization, yeah, then please bring them to Jason, because she's desperate to serve someone. Okay, I know absolutely she's desperate to be able to use her gifts. Okay, so if you know somebody who's cute and small and they would like many girls around them, please bring them to Yaya and Eugenia, because they can all have tea party. They can all drink tea together and have happy little cakes. Okay? Yeah, but you give up your time, and I know they will sacrifice their time if you say you have a friend like that, or you have a nephew or niece like that needs taken care of. I know we can all go together as the body of Christ to build God's kingdom together. Okay, but it does involve giving up your time. Every Sunday, the children teachers, they give up their time. They're so tired, Raymond is always on the floor, and then Jonas comes to take. It's like a professional babysitting thing, care facility. So they will teach, and by the time they come back, they just want to eat there. Like no expression on their faces. Raymond is just on the floor. Don't talk to me. After that, Jonas comes in, everybody's like Jonas, and then just like okay, everybody calm. And the children are all around them. Yeah, but because we know that the children need love and they need Jesus and they need a family to be with, so everybody's willing to invest their time into these children. And it's like about once in a year we do the kids camp. It's a great camp because I'm on camera. It's great. Yeah, we love it, but it takes up a lot of our time and our energy. By the end of the day, all of us are tired, all of us are angry, all of us are waiting for the day to end. The best day is when we're all sitting down and they're just watching a movie. Yeah, so if you ever want to do a children's outreach, we recommend movies. Very little work, but a lot of participation. You can just serve popcorn at the side. It's great. And you know where that came from? When I was young, somebody did that for me. I didn't tell y'all that, but it was very effective. Yeah. So obviously I really believed in it, so I passed it on. And the first boy that came was Raymond. Yeah. We had a lot of popcorn. It's like so long ago. Like already so big. It's disgusting. Yeah, our first movie night, I made like a giant tub of caramel popcorn. Had a lot of faith, and then one boy showed up. So we ate a lot of popcorn. Yeah, but so look where we are now. God is cool. God is cool. Okay, but it does mean you have to give up your time. Okay, so if Jason finds somebody she really wants to help, like maybe she finds a little boy. That is not her son. Because Jason is like, she doesn't want, like, she wants to take care of other people's child. Okay, so, and then you're like, 博养，要不要来教堂? And so it does take, maybe she would have to give up some of her time, like maybe she would have to make some little brownies or something, and like, 好，大姐姐来带你去教堂，你要不要吃蛋糕? Yeah, and that's a really creepy way, but I know it works because that's what worked. When I was going, I'm going to tell you a true story. This is how the ministry started. I was in God called me to full-time ministry, right? So I know I was supposed to be with young people, but there was no young people, so I had to go out and look for young people. And I went to Reach Family Services, and they assigned me to a delinquents camp. just a voluntary camp. So I was a leader with my friend Francel. We are there to kind of just be with young people, so maybe we can connect with somebody. Raymond, on the other hand, he was wrongly assigned. He was supposed to be in a leadership camp, but they put him in a delinquents camp. So God connected us together very supernaturally. If you all don't know, so just like everything happened supernaturally. God was just interested in just putting the two of them. We would never know each other, but we know each other pretty well. We are we are very similar in many, many ways. Yeah. But for 3 days in the camp, because I was so Christian, I was like super, super Christian. I only listen to Christian music. Like, only listen to Christian music, only read the Bible. I don't watch TV. I don't know anything about anything. And all those kids are delinquents. So I couldn't relate to anyone at all. Yeah, so on the last day I felt so bad about myself. I was sure that God didn't call me to youth culture, youth ministry. So I was like crying, and then I was just praying, God, can you help me? So I pray. Because I'm praying that God, please send me the people. Yeah, the people are already there, just not connecting. Yeah, there's a lot of people on earth, you know, you just don't need to ask God to send you people. There's people everywhere. Yeah, but I couldn't connect. So then God just said, oh, just do what you do. And I cook a lot during that time. So then I made Rice Krispies, right? So I made Rice Krispies. That's a good gift. Yeah, the eating thing is a good gift. Yeah, so in the morning I woke up very early. I made the Rice Krispies. I made it super pretty, like professional grade. Yeah, and then so nobody came to us as usual. We were just hanging out with the kids, but not really connecting. After that, I put it on the table. I said, "Hey, we have something to eat." Everybody came, and they're like, "What is this?" It's marshmallows and Rice Krispies. Yeah, then we had a conversation around that food. Yeah, very funny, right? You think that ministry is going to be something very spiritual, but it's also very practical, and you use what you have. Yeah, like the fish and the loaves. That parable. Oh no, it's actually a true happening, not a parable. Sorry, the teacher is giving me stressful. Yeah, but you have to give up your time. Yeah, sometimes you have that, sometimes you have a feeling that maybe you're doing something in your hall or at home, and then you have a feeling you need to do something for someone. Just do it, and then just give it to them. You know, like bake something. Bake something or make something nice, or go out for dinner together. Yeah, and giving up your time. I don't know. Elvin does his D&D group. Yeah, that's a lot of time. Well, a long time. So giving up your time. Yeah, bring them to an end and take care of them. You have to take care of these friends. You can't just treat people like goods. They are souls. Humans are humans. You have to hey, can we be friends first? Then after you're friends, then maybe they want to talk to you and listen to what you have to say. Yeah, you can't just hey, I know you come to church. It's quite scary, you know. It's like you go into a grocery store and just picking out something and put it in your basket and bring it home. Yeah, a little scary. You have to take care of these people. This is what Jesus is talking. This is what Jesus is saying. Okay, so, and last one is giving your resources. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them. He's taking out our money, our supplies. Actually, I think among all of us, I think Eric and Brian are very, very good at this. You know, they like to just give things. They just like to keep giving things. Yeah. The next day, he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after them, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have. This is a stranger and all. Yeah, and the beautiful thing about this is we don't know the end of the story. Did he go to church? Because it doesn't matter to Jesus whether that person goes to church or not, but it matters to Jesus whether you are truly loving as you think you should. Like what you are doing with your life is more important than the results of it. Of course, we all pray for fruit, lah. Of course, we are all praying that whatever we invest into, whoever we invest into, that there will be a harvest of fruit. But that we can leave it up to God. He's watching you. He's not watching your result. Okay. We are a lot more result-oriented than God is. Okay, so given your resources, which of these do you think was the neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. I like how passive-aggressive this guy was, expert in the law. Jesus said 3 guys, right? He said the priest, the Levite, and the other man. He said, go on the one. He's not anybody, he's just that guy. Yeah, but you know what? You can be the one, and I can be the one to cause an impact in somebody's life. And it's just that simple. Yeah, if you have somebody you can continuously be with, that's the best thing. But if not, then someone on your way, be like the Good Samaritan and do what Jesus says. Yeah, and we come to church a lot, and if we are involved in a church culture, it's easy for us to lose sight of everything. Yeah, it's easy for us to think, well, this is our duty and responsibility. And this is all God's word, we have to fulfill it. Yeah, but it's just, Jesus just wants us to love people. Yeah, love, let it be part of your life. If it was not in your life before, then try to do that. Yeah, love God, love people. Okay? But if you think you have a problem with your heart, like I really don't feel anything, God. I try very hard. Really don't feel anything, man. I see them, I don't see anything. Just people. Okay, then the Holy Spirit can help us. Okay, I will give you a new heart. A heart, and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. It will give you a heart of flesh that loves people, loves God, feels for people, and feels the heartbeat of God towards people. You know why God tells us to love people? Because He loves people. Yeah. If God don't love people, He will not have to come down to save people. So we are loving people because Jesus loves us first. And if Jesus does love you, and you have truly experienced Jesus' love, then you will know that, of course, it's natural for you to give the love you have to everyone around you, right? It's natural, right? Okay? Okay, I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws. So now Jesus will give us a new heart. He gives us His spirit that will be like, okay, that guy, do you want to go and help that guy? Yeah, you start having little conversations in your heads and start having little ideas how you can make this person happy and that person happy, how to be a blessing to other people. Okay, so this is today's message. It's a very practical message. I hope it has benefited you. If you don't know, if you think that ministry is a very spiritual thing, it is a spiritual thing because we are operating from spiritual words from a spiritual God, but God is also very practical. He's so practical that He left heaven, He left His home in heaven, and He came down to be one of us and live like one of us, so that He can be an example for all of us. Okay? So Samaritan, open your eyes, true love. Open your eyes, open your heart, move your feet, move your hands, give up your convenience, your time, and your resources. Okay? Okay.